We received an alarm at our closest missile site. There was an object directly above that ICBM nuclear missile, right on top of the blast door. No noise, no sound whatsoever, and it looked like a mini sun sitting in the air. It was the size of a super Walmart building. Not just a Walmart, I mean a super Walmart. This thing was gargantuan. And how it could suspend itself was just completely unnatural to what we know of as anything that can fly or hover.
The captain was just looking up with his mouth open, and I look up and I see this object right over the missile launch tube. Multifaceted, matte, black, finished, an oddly shaped diamond. Absolutely silent, made no noise. There was no means of propulsion, 50 feet up in the air, sitting absolutely still. And it was amazing. And we kind of looked at one another, and we were just human beings witnessing something extraordinary. And while we're watching this thing, it went from dead still, and it shot off toward the horizon and was gone. Absolutely instant acceleration.
We had 60 cameras so that the engineers at Boeing and Douglas could see every millisecond of the ignition. The missile in question that we photographed was an Atlas D, carrying, as part of an experiment, a dummy nuclear warhead. As it was flying along, the warhead, the chaff, something else entered the frame. It sent a beam of light and hit the warhead, flew up like this, shot another beam of light down at the warhead, went like this, shot another beam of light at the warhead, went under here, shot a beam of light at the warhead, and then flew out the way it had come in. All the while, everything in our frame was moving along at 8,000 to 9,000 miles an hour. There's nothing of ours that could have done that. Could have done that.
There was this red-orange light hovering above the front gate. It was about 40 feet in diameter, it sort of oval shape. And each missile was announcing guidance and control system failure. Our missiles were starting to go down, so we had all 10 of them go down. Within the span of 8 days, we lost 20 nuclear missiles to UFOs.
Vandenberg is home to the infrastructure that supports our National Missile Defense Project, the system that defends our country from incoming ballistic missiles and nuclear weapons. So it's one of the most important bases we have. On October 14, 2003, I showed up to work at Vandenberg Air Force Base, and immediately everybody just started to tell me about this UFO incident that had happened earlier that morning.
I reported for work at Vandenberg Air Force Base. We were given a briefing that earlier in the day, some Boeing contractors had witnessed a UAP incursion.
3 Boeing contractors had called in and reported that a gigantic red square object was floating over the launch pad at low altitude. It was making no noise, it had no obvious signs of propulsion, and it was just hovering silently. It was a very serious security breach of the area.
And we were told just to be vigilant when we were out on our shift that night.
And I spent most of the day driving around the base looking for these objects.
Later that night, myself and 5 security forces members, we observed a bright light approaching the base. As it got closer, the light was no longer visible, and it was massive, the size of a football field, almost rectangular in shape. It was just floating there, no propulsion system, no windows. It was matte black. We observed it for another 45 seconds, and then it shot off thousands of miles an hour up the coast.
I talked to all the direct witnesses, over a dozen people, and even from their different vantage points, they all told the same story. They all saw the same thing.
The UAP activity surrounding nuclear weapons is not a historic issue, it's an ongoing issue.